Hello and welcome to the Sleepy Facts. I hope you are finding comfort tonight, settling into a place where the noise of the day can finally begin to soften. We are here to journey gently through the world, one quiet fact at a time. Tonight, we turn our attention to an object that has become almost an extension of ourselves. It rests in your hand, sits on your bedside table, and travels with you everywhere. The smartphone. It is a device of immense complexity, yet we interact with it with the simplest of gestures. We tap, we swipe, we scroll. But beneath that smooth glass surface lies a story of deep time, brilliant minds, and quiet revolutions. As we explore the origins and the hidden life of these devices, allow your breathing to slow. Let the weight of the day sink into the mattress, and let your mind drift back to the beginning. Let's begin. The idea of a handheld communicator was once pure science fiction. Long before the first smartphone beeped or vibrated, writers and dreamers imagined a world where voices and images could travel through the air. In the mid-20th century, comic strips and radio shows featured heroes who could speak into wristwatches or carry portable video phones. These were fantasies of a future where distance no longer mattered. The path from those dreams to the device in your pocket was not a single leap, but a long, slow walk through decades of invention. It is a story of thousands of small steps, each one building on the last, each one bringing us closer to the glowing rectangles we know today. The very first handheld mobile phone call was made in 1973. It was a moment that changed the way we connect, though the device itself was far from what we would call smart. Martin Cooper, a researcher at Motorola, stood on a sidewalk in New York City and dialed a rival engineer at Bell Labs. The phone he used was a prototype that would later become the Dyna-TC. It was a large, heavy brick, often called the brick phone. It weighed over 2 pounds and offered just 20 minutes of talk time. Recharging it took 10 hours. Yet, for all its limitations, it proved a profound point. We could walk and talk at the same time. We were no longer tethered to a wall by a cord. The world was beginning to untether itself. The term, smartphone, was not born in a sleek laboratory, but on a trade show floor. In 1992, IBM introduced a device called the Simon Personal Communicator. It is often considered the first true smartphone, though the word itself would not be used until a few years later. Simon was a remarkable fusion for its time. It was a mobile phone, but it was also a pager, a fax machine, a calendar, an address book, and a calculator. It even had a touchscreen, though it required a stylus and responded best to a firm, deliberate press. Simon was ahead of its time, but it was heavy, expensive, and had a battery life that struggled to last a workday. It was a seed planted in the soil of technology, waiting for the right conditions to grow. The word smartphone was coined in 1995. It was used to describe a new prototype device by the company Ericsson. They called it the GS88, and the term was meant to distinguish it from the simpler, dumb phones that could only make calls and send basic text messages. The name stuck because it captured a new ambition. These phones were not just tools for talking. They were becoming intelligent assistants. They were starting to think for us, to organize our lives, and to hold our memories. The word smart suggested a partner, a small mind that lived in your pocket and helped you navigate the world. Early smartphones were often used with a stylus. Before the age of the intuitive tap and swipe, screens were often resistive. This meant they responded to pressure, not to the electrical conductivity of your skin. You had to push down on the screen with a plastic pen, or even a fingernail, to get a response. It was a slower, more deliberate interaction. It required a focused touch. The screens were often dim and small, displaying text in simple, blocky fonts. Yet they were a marvel to the people who used them. You could read an email, you could check a stock price, and you could edit a document, all while sitting on a bus or walking through a park. The world was starting to shrink and fit into the palm of your hand. The rise of the modern smartphone began with a shift in how we interacted with our devices. For years, phones had physical keyboards. Some had tiny keys arranged below a screen, like a miniature calculator. Others had full keyboards that slid out from the body of the phone, a satisfying mechanical motion. These keys provided a tactile sense of certainty. You could feel the click of each letter under your thumbs. But this also meant a large part of the phone was dedicated to keys, leaving less room for a screen. The turning point came when engineers dared to remove the physical keyboard entirely, replacing it with a digital one that appeared only when needed. This allowed the screen to take over the whole front of the device, becoming a window into a digital world. The glass that covers your smartphone is a marvel of modern chemistry. It is chemically strengthened, often through a process of ion exchange. The glass is dipped in a hot bath of molten salt, where smaller sodium ions leave the glass and are replaced by larger potassium ions from the salt. These larger ions wedge themselves into the glass structure, creating a layer of compressive stress on the surface. This makes the glass incredibly resistant to scratching and cracking. It is a process that takes the fragility of ordinary glass and transforms it into something that can survive the bumps and scrapes of daily life. Yet, it remains smooth and cool to the touch, a perfect surface for a gentle glide of a finger. The processor inside your phone is a city of tiny switches. A modern smartphone system on a chip contains billions of transistors. These transistors are microscopic electrical switches that can turn on and off billions of times per second. They are the fundamental building blocks of computation. Every photo you take, every video you watch, every message you send is broken down into a series of ones and zeros, which are represented by these switches turning on and off. This immense city of switches is etched into a piece of silicon no larger than a fingernail. It is a universe of activity happening in silence, a silent partner working tirelessly to translate your intentions into digital reality. Your phone knows its orientation thanks to a tiny component called an accelerometer. This is a microelectromechanical system, or MEMS. Inside this chip, there are microscopic structures, tiny springs and beams, that move ever so slightly when the phone tilts or accelerates. Their movement changes the electrical properties of the chip, which the phone's software interprets as a change in direction. This is how the screen knows to rotate from portrait to landscape when you turn your phone on its side. It is how your step-counting app knows you've taken a step. The phone can feel its own movement in space, a sense of balance that mirrors our own. The first smartphone to truly capture the world's imagination arrived in 2007. It was introduced not as a phone, but as three devices: a widescreen iPod, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator. The presenter held it up and said, "These are not three separate devices. This is one device." When it was released, people lined up for blocks to get one. The interface was fluid and intuitive. You didn't need a stylus. You could simply flick a list with your finger, and it would scroll with momentum, slowing down naturally as if affected by friction. It felt less like operating a machine and more like manipulating a physical object. It made the complex feel simple, and the distant feel near. Before smartphones, getting lost was a much more common experience. To go somewhere new, you might have to print out directions from a website, or unfold a large, crinkly paper map that never seemed to fold back the same way. You had to look for street signs and landmarks, trying to match the world around you to the lines on a page. The arrival of GPS and smartphones changed all of that. The global positioning system relies on a network of satellites orbiting the Earth. Your phone listens for signals from several of these satellites at once. By calculating the tiny differences in the time it takes for these signals to arrive, the phone can triangulate its position on the planet with astonishing accuracy. A blue dot appears on a map, showing you exactly where you are, and a calm voice guides you turn by turn. The anxiety of navigating the unknown was replaced by the quiet confidence of a path laid out before you. The flash on your phone is often a small LED, But early camera phones used a different approach. Some had tiny xenon flash tubes, similar to those found in professional cameras. They produced a bright, brief burst of light. However, as phones became thinner, these tubes became harder to fit. The LED became the standard. It is smaller, uses less power, and can stay on continuously, which is useful for filming video or for using the phone as a simple flashlight. It is a small, steady beam of light that we carry with us, a tiny sun that we can switch on with a tap to banish the darkness in a closet or under a bed. The first photo ever shared from a mobile phone was a picture of a newborn baby. In 1997, Philippe Kahn was sitting in the hospital waiting room while his wife was in labor. He had a digital camera and a mobile phone, and he wanted to share the moment instantly. So, he wrote some code on his laptop and connected the camera to the phone with a wire. When his daughter was born, he snapped a photo and instantly sent it to over 2,000 people. It was a clunky, improvised system, but it captured a universal human desire. We want to share our moments. We want to say, "I am here, and this is beautiful." That one act of sharing a baby's photo planted the seed for the social networks we know today, where millions of photos are shared every minute. The vibration of your phone is created by a tiny motor with an off-center weight. When the motor spins, this weight causes the whole phone to shake. This haptic feedback is a silent language. It can signal a new message without a sound. It can acknowledge a tap on the screen. Some phones use more advanced linear resonant actuators, which can create more precise and subtle vibrations. They can mimic the feeling of a heartbeat, or the click of a mechanical shutter. This silent touch is a form of communication that does not require your eyes or your ears. It is a secret tap on the wrist, a gentle nudge that asks for your attention without demanding it. Smartphones have changed the way we wait. In the past, waiting for a bus, a friend, or an appointment was a time of quiet observation or idle thought. We might have looked around, noticing the architecture, the people, the movement of clouds. Or we might have let our minds wander, daydreaming. Today, those small pockets of time are often filled by the glow of a screen. We check news, scroll through feeds, or play a quick game. The phone has become a portal that we step into whenever there is a pause in the day's rhythm. It has erased the feeling of boredom, but perhaps it has also quieted the moments of aimless reflection that can be the fertile ground for new ideas. The batteries in our phones are miracles of energy density. They are lithium-ion batteries, which work by moving lithium ions between a positive electrode and a negative electrode through an electrolyte. When you charge the battery, the ions move one way and nestle into the negative electrode, storing energy. When you use the phone, they flow back to the positive electrode, releasing that energy. This process can be repeated hundreds of times. These batteries are light and can hold a significant amount of power, allowing our devices to run for a day or more on a single charge. Yet they are sensitive to heat and time. They slowly degrade, holding a little less charge each year. They have a lifespan, a slow fading of capacity, much like our own energy levels over a lifetime. The journey of a smartphone begins long before it is assembled. Many of the materials inside are rare earth elements. These are a set of 17 metallic elements with names like yttrium, lanthanum, and neodymium. They are used to create the vibrant colors in your screen, the speakers that play your music, and the motors that make your phone vibrate. Despite their name, these elements are not necessarily rare in the Earth's crust, but they are rarely found in concentrated deposits that are easy to mine. Extracting them is a complex, global journey. They are dug from the ground, refined, and shipped across oceans, passing through many hands before they become part of the silent, glowing companion you hold tonight. The operating system of a smartphone is a masterpiece of invisible management. Whether it is iOS or Android, it is the conductor of a vast digital orchestra. It decides which apps get to use the processor, how much memory they can have, and when they should go to sleep to save power. It manages the connections to cell towers, Wi-Fi networks, and Bluetooth devices, switching between them seamlessly. It handles the graphics on the screen, drawing and redrawing images 60 or more times a second to create the illusion of smooth motion. All of this happens behind the curtain of the display. We tap an icon, and the app opens, but the complex negotiations between software and hardware that made that possible remain unseen, a quiet engine of order in a world of data. The first text message was sent in 1992. A British engineer named Neil Papworth typed, "Merry Christmas," on a computer and sent it to a colleague's mobile phone. At the time, it was a simple, clunky experiment. The phones were not designed to handle text easily. The screens were small and could only show a few characters at a time. But the idea took hold. It was a way to communicate without having to speak, a way to send a thought that could be read later. Texting gave rise to a new form of shorthand, a new way of using language. LOL, BRB, and emojis were born from the need to convey emotion and intent in a handful of typed letters. It became a whisper made of light. The sound of a smartphone capturing a photo is often a digital reproduction of an old mechanical shutter. For decades, cameras had a physical shutter that would open and close with a distinct click and whir. When digital cameras and phones replaced the film and mechanical parts, that sound disappeared. But people missed the audible confirmation that a photo had been taken. So, engineers added a digital sound effect that mimicked the old mechanical click. It is a sound from the past, a memory of older technology preserved in the newest, a familiar ghost in the machine. We have not yet reached the end of our journey through the world of smartphones. There are still more stories to tell, more hidden layers to uncover. We have seen how the dream of communication took physical form, how glass was strengthened, and how tiny switches created cities of thought. But the story of how this device changed our culture, our minds, and our world is still unfolding. So, let us pause here for a brief moment. When you are ready, we will continue our exploration. Let us return now to the quiet glow of the screen. We have seen how the device was born, how it grew from a heavy brick into a sleek shard of glass and light. But a smartphone, in isolation, is like a disconnected neuron. It needs a network to come alive. It needs to speak. The story of the smartphone is also the story of the invisible web that covers our planet. It is a story of signals that climb into the sky and dive under the ocean, knitting us together in a silent, humming embrace. The connection we often take for granted begins with a cell tower. These towers are the sentinels of our modern age. They stand on hills, they hide on rooftops, disguised as trees or flagpoles. When you make a call or send a message, your phone sends a radio signal to the nearest tower. This signal is then passed from tower to tower, or to a central switching station, routing your voice or data to its destination. It is a relay race that happens in milliseconds. You speak, and the air around you carries your words to a metal structure miles away, which then hands them off to a fiber-optic cable buried beneath the street, traveling at the speed of light. It is a miracle of coordination that we use every day without a second thought, a vast, invisible net that catches our voices and holds them close. The bars on your phone are a simplified language of physics. They represent the strength of the signal your phone is receiving from that distant tower. When you have full bars, the connection is strong, the conversation is clear. When the bars drop, your phone must work harder. It boosts its own power to maintain the link, straining to be heard. This is why battery life often drains faster in areas with poor reception. The phone is shouting into the void, trying to find a listener. When the signal is strong, the phone can whisper, content and calm in the knowledge that the tower is near. The journey of a text message is a fascinating blend of old and new technology. When you press send, the message doesn't just float to the recipient's phone. It first goes to a short message service center, or SMSC. This is a server that acts as a holding station. It checks if the recipient's phone is available. If it is, the message is delivered instantly. If not, the SMSC stores the message, waiting patiently for the phone to come back online. It is the digital post office that never closes, holding your private words in trust until they can be read. This store and forward mechanism is why a text can be sent even when the receiver is on a plane or in a tunnel, waiting to be delivered the moment they reappear. The speed of our mobile internet has climbed a quiet ladder over the years. We moved from 2G, which allowed us to send text, to 3G, which opened the door to the web, albeit slowly. Then came 4G, the era of streaming video and high-speed data. Now we are in the age of 5G. This new generation uses higher frequency waves. These waves carry more data, but they don't travel as far or penetrate walls as easily as the older, lower frequencies. This means we need more small cells, tiny antennas on streetlights and buildings, to create a dense web of connectivity. It is a shift from a few tall towers covering a city to a multitude of small whispering points, creating a faster, more responsive layer of communication that wraps around us like a digital skin. Wi-Fi, the signal we use in our homes, was born from a desire to connect without wires. It uses radio waves, just like cellular networks, but in a different part of the spectrum. The name, Wi-Fi, doesn't actually stand for wireless fidelity, as many assume. It is a brand name created by a marketing consultancy, meant to sound friendly and familiar, echoing hi-fi, or high fidelity from the world of audio. It was a name designed to feel warm and reliable. Today, it is the invisible pulse of the modern home. It allows our devices to offload heavy data tasks from the cellular network, saving battery and speed, tethering us to the internet through the router sitting quietly in a corner, a silent guardian of our digital connection. Bluetooth is named after a king. In the 10th century, King Harald Bluetooth Gormson was known for uniting disparate Scandinavian tribes. In 1997, engineers from Intel, Ericsson, and Nokia were looking for a name for a new short-range wireless technology that could unite devices, PCs and cellular phones, which had previously been separate worlds. They chose Bluetooth as a temporary code name, a metaphor for unification. The name stuck. The familiar blue logo is a combination of the king's initials in ancient runes, merged into a single bind rune. It is a quiet nod to history that lives in our pockets every day, a reminder that this technology was built to bring things together. The app economy reshaped the purpose of the phone. Before 2008, the software on a phone was static. You had what the manufacturer gave you: a calculator, a calendar, a simple game. But with the introduction of the App Store, and later Google Play, the smartphone became a canvas for developers. A taxi driver could build an app to find riders. A musician could build an app to teach piano. The phone transformed from a finished product into a vessel of potential. It could become a flashlight, a level, a guitar tuner, a meditation guide. It became whatever you needed it to be at that moment. This shift turned the phone into a universal tool, a digital Swiss Army knife that evolved every time you downloaded a new icon. The first camera phone was not invented in a high-tech lab, but emerged from a moment of family connection. As we touched on earlier, Philippe Kahn's desire to share his daughter's photo led to a makeshift solution that changed photography. But it's worth lingering on the cultural shift this caused. For most of history, taking a photograph was a deliberate act. You needed a camera, you needed film, you needed to take it to be developed. You waited days to see the result. The smartphone camera removed the friction. It made photography instant, disposable, and shareable. It shifted the role of photography from preserving memories to communicating moments. We began to photograph our lunches, our shoes, the sky, not because these were momentous events, but because we wanted to say, "I am here." The selfie has a longer history than you might think. The first known photographic selfie was taken in 1839 by Robert Cornelius, a photography enthusiast in Philadelphia. He set up his camera, removed the lens cap, ran into the frame, sat for a minute, and then ran back to cover the lens. It was a slow, deliberate process. Today, the selfie is instant. Our phones have front-facing cameras, introduced on devices like the iPhone 4, specifically for this purpose. This simple addition changed the way we see ourselves. We became the curators of our own image, able to present our face to the world exactly as we wish to be seen in that moment. It is a form of self-portraiture that is accessible to everyone, a daily act of self-reflection made of light and pixels. The screen of your phone is likely an OLED or LCD display. OLED stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode. In these screens, every single pixel is its own tiny light source. When the screen displays black, the pixel simply turns off. This saves battery and creates a deep, rich darkness. LCD screens, on the other hand, use a backlight that is always on, blocking light to create black. The OLED technology allows for thinner screens and flexible displays. It is a symphony of millions of microscopic lights, each one playing its part to create the images we see, turning on and off billions of times to animate our dreams and stories. The blue light, emitted by our screens, is a topic of much discussion. Our screens are designed to mimic daylight. They emit a high proportion of blue wavelengths, which are energetic and help us see clearly in bright conditions. However, this same blue light can trick our brains. In nature, blue light signals that it is daytime, suppressing the production of melatonin, the hormone that helps us sleep. This is why looking at a phone before bed can make it harder to drift off. Many phones now have a night mode, or eye comfort shield, which shifts the screen's color temperature to warmer, yellower tones. It is a small adjustment, a compromise between our biology and our technology, trying to bridge the gap between the digital day and the biological night. The autocorrect feature on our phones is powered by complex algorithms, but its origins are surprisingly humble. It was originally developed to correct typos in word processors. On a phone, where keys are small and thumbs are large, it became essential. The phone learns your vocabulary. It learns the names of your friends, the streets in your city, and the slang you use. It builds a personalized dictionary in its memory. Sometimes it makes mistakes, creating those humorous autocorrect fails, but mostly it works silently in the background, smoothing the rough edges of our typing, helping us communicate with speed and clarity. It is a silent editor, a ghostwriter correcting our digital spelling. Predictive text takes this a step further. As you type, the phone offers suggestions for the next word. It does this by analyzing the context of your sentence and your past writing habits. It is constantly calculating probabilities, asking, "What is the most likely word to come next?" Over time, the phone can almost think like you. It can anticipate your thoughts before you finish them. This feature saves us countless keystrokes. It is a partnership between human thought and machine prediction, a quiet dance where the machine tries to keep one step ahead of the mind. The notification is a double-edged sword. It was designed to inform us, to let us know that a message has arrived or an appointment is due. But it has also become a siren song. Each notification is a small dopamine hit, a tiny reward that pulls our attention away from the present moment. The sound, the vibration, the banner sliding across the screen, all are designed to be intrusive. They demand to be seen. Managing this stream of information has become a modern skill. We have learned to silence our phones, to use "do not disturb" modes to regain control over our attention. It is a negotiation between our desire to be connected and our need for peace. We have replaced many physical objects with our smartphones. The wristwatch, once a necessary accessory for every adult, now sits in a drawer for many. The alarm clock, with its mechanical ticking and harsh buzzer, has been replaced by a gentle chime from a phone on the nightstand. The physical map, the compass, the calculator, the flashlight, the notepad, the tape recorder, all have been absorbed into the digital Swiss Army knife. This consolidation has lightened our pockets and our bags. We carry libraries of music and books in a space smaller than a sandwich. It is a quiet efficiency, a gathering of tools into one smooth pebble of glass and metal. The first smartphone virus appeared in 2004. It was called Kabir, and it targeted phones running the Symbian operating system. It didn't cause much damage, but it proved a point. As our devices became more like computers, they became vulnerable to the same threats. It spread via Bluetooth, displaying the message, Karibi, on the screen. This was a wake-up call. Security became a paramount concern. Today, our phones hold our bank details, our health records, our private conversations. They are repositories of our lives. Protecting them with passcodes, fingerprints, and encrypted data has become second nature, a digital lock and key for our most valuable secrets. The integration of the smartphone into our daily lives is nearly complete. We use them to wake up, to check the weather, to navigate traffic, to work, to shop, to bank, and to relax. They mediate our relationship with the world. They are our photographers, our navigators, our librarians, and our entertainers. They have smoothed the friction of daily tasks, making the world more accessible and more malleable. Yet, as we rely on them more, we must also learn to set them aside, to reclaim moments of unconnected quiet. We are still in the middle of our story. The device in your hand has woven itself into the fabric of society, changing how we interact with each other and with ourselves. But there is more to the story. There is the question of the unseen infrastructure, the satellites above, and the servers below. There is the story of how this device touches the planet. We have explored the connection and the convenience, the invisible waves and the silent algorithms. But the journey continues. Let us pause here, and when you are ready, we will step deeper into the quiet mechanics of the world the smartphone built. We have traced the path of the signal from the tower to the phone. But let us now look deeper into the invisible infrastructure that holds our digital world together. There is a hidden architecture to our connectivity, a vast, silent system that hums beneath the surface of our daily lives. It is a story of immense scale, of secrets buried in the sea and light trapped in glass. Take a slow, deep breath, and let your mind expand to encompass the size of this network. It is a web that wraps around the entire Earth, a nervous system for the planet. The cloud is perhaps the most poetic misnomer of our time. When we save a photo to the cloud, we imagine it floating gently in the digital ether, weightless and ethereal. But the cloud is not in the sky. It is on the ground. It is vast, anonymous warehouses, often called data centers. These are immense buildings, some the size of several football fields, filled row upon row with servers. These servers are powerful computers that never sleep. They hum with a low, constant drone, processing billions of requests every second. They store our memories, our documents, our lives. The air inside these centers is kept cool, a precise, refrigerated climate to keep the machines from overheating. It is a physical place, a temple of information, grounded in the soil of the earth, holding our digital ghosts in its silent, spinning drives. The connection between these centers, and between continents, is not merely satellite signals beaming through the void. A vast majority of the world's internet traffic travels through cables that lie on the bottom of the ocean. These are submarine communication cables. They are bundles of fiber optics, no thicker than a garden hose, stretched across the abyssal plains of the deep sea. They lie in the silent darkness, connecting continents. A message sent from a phone in Europe to a friend in America likely travels through one of these cables, pulsing as a beam of light through a glass thread under miles of black water. They are vulnerable to shark bites or ship anchors, but they are the backbone of our world. They are the hidden threads that tie the landmasses together, a submerged nervous system pulsing with the world's conversations. The glass inside these cables is incredibly pure. Fiber-optic cables work on a principle called total internal reflection. Light is sent down the thin glass fiber at a specific angle. Because the glass is so pure and the angle is so precise, the light cannot escape. It bounces off the walls of the glass, traveling for miles without losing its intensity. It is a miracle of physics. We have learned to trap light and make it carry our voices, our videos, and our thoughts across oceans. The light stays inside, a whisper traveling at the speed of the universe, protected by the glass that guides it. Your phone has a unique identity. It is called an IMEI number, which stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity. It is a 15 to 17-digit number that is specific to your device. It is like a digital fingerprint. No two phones in the world have the same IMEI. This number helps networks identify a valid device and can be used to block a stolen phone from accessing the network. It is a silent marker of authenticity, a hidden name that your phone whispers to the tower every time it connects, saying, "It is me. I am here." The biometrics on your phone, such as fingerprint sensors or facial recognition, are feats of tiny engineering. The fingerprint sensor, often built into the home button or the screen itself, uses a capacitive touch sensor. It creates an image of your fingerprint by detecting the electrical conductivity of your skin. The ridges of your finger touch the sensor, while the valleys do not. This creates a detailed map of the unique loops and whirls of your biology. It is a secure key that you carry with you always. You simply place your finger, and the phone recognizes its owner. It is a secret handshake between you and the device, a moment of personal connection that unlocks the digital world within. Facial recognition takes this a step further. Many modern phones use an infrared projector to cast thousands of tiny, invisible dots onto your face. These dots create a 3D map of your features, measuring the depth of your eye sockets, the curve of your nose, and the shape of your chin. This map is converted into a mathematical model that the phone uses to compare against the face looking at the screen. It works in complete darkness. It sees beyond the surface, reading the geometry of your identity. It is a gentle, invisible skin that turns your face into the password, a reflection in the glass that grants access. The smartphone has become a powerful tool for accessibility. For people who are blind or visually impaired, the phone is not just a convenience, it is a lifeline. Screen readers can speak aloud everything that appears on the display, describing icons, reading texts, and announcing the time. The camera can be used to identify objects, read currency, or even describe a scene in the environment. It provides a level of independence that was once impossible. It is a seeing-eye dog made of silicon and code, a companion that narrates the visual world for those who cannot see it, turning the lights on in the dark. In many parts of the world, the smartphone has become a bank. In places where traditional banking infrastructure is scarce, people rely on mobile money. Services like M-Pesa in Kenya allow users to store money on their phone accounts and transfer it to others via simple text messages. They can pay bills, buy goods, and send money to family members in distant villages. The phone number becomes the account number. This system has brought financial inclusion to millions of people who have never stepped inside a bank. It is a quiet revolution, a transfer of value happening through the air, empowering communities and changing lives with a simple press of a send button. The gold in your phone is ancient. There is a tiny amount of gold used in the circuit boards and connectors because gold is an excellent conductor of electricity and does not corrode. This gold was likely forged in the collision of neutron stars billions of years ago, a cosmic catastrophe that scattered heavy elements across the galaxy. The same atoms that drifted through the void for eons now sit in the quiet heart of your device, helping to carry the signals that connect you to the world. It is a humbling thought that the treasure in your pocket is a fragment of stellar dust, a memory of a star's violent death. Water resistance in smartphones is achieved through precision engineering. Many modern phones carry an IP rating, such as IP67 or IP68. The IP stands for ingress protection. The numbers define how well the device is sealed against solids and liquids. To achieve this, engineers use rubber gaskets and silicone seals around buttons, ports, and seams. The inside of the phone might be coated with a thin, water-repellent nanocoating. It is a fortress of small details. The gaps between the glass and the frame are sealed with strong adhesives. This allows the phone to survive a drop in a puddle, a splash in the sink, or even a brief immersion. It is a shield built into the tiny spaces, a layer of protection against the elements. The compass in your phone uses a sensor called a magnetometer. It measures the Earth's magnetic field. Just like a traditional needle compass, it points north. But it does so without a moving needle. It is a solid-state chip that detects the subtle magnetic pull of the planet. When you open a map and the blue cone shows which way you are facing, it is this tiny sensor at work. It aligns you with the magnetic poles, orienting you in the landscape. It is an ancient sense of direction, updated for the digital age, helping you find your path through the concrete jungle or the winding trail. The gyroscope in your phone is another microscopic wonder. It detects rotation. If you turn your phone in a circle, the gyroscope measures the rate of that turn. It allows the phone to know its orientation in three-dimensional space. It is crucial for augmented reality apps, where digital creatures might sit on your living room floor, and for stabilizing video when you are walking. It is a sense of balance, a proprioception for the device, knowing exactly where it is and how it moves in the palm of your hand. The concept of range anxiety is a modern ailment. It refers to the fear that your phone battery will die before you can find a charger. This anxiety has shaped our behavior. We carry charging cables, we scout for outlets in airports and cafes, and we carry portable battery packs. It is a low-level hum of vigilance, a dependency on the stored energy that keeps our digital lives running. Yet, it also reminds us of our physical connection to the grid. We are not entirely free. We are tied by a thin cable to the power that flows from the wall. The sleep tracking apps on our phones use the accelerometer and microphone to monitor our rest. They detect the small movements we make during the night and the sounds of the room. They attempt to wake us during our lightest phase of sleep, making the transition from dream to waking a little gentler. It is ironic that the device that can keep us awake with its blue light is also the one that tries to understand and improve our sleep. It watches over us in the dark, a silent sentinel on the nightstand, listening to the rhythm of our breath. The smartphone has changed the way we remember. In the past, we memorized phone numbers, addresses, and birthdays. Now, we outsource that memory to our devices. The phone remembers for us. It holds the dates, the names, and the faces. This is sometimes called digital amnesia. But perhaps it is simply a shift in how we use our minds. We free up mental space for other thoughts, trusting the device to hold the details. It is a partnership of memory, where the silicon holds the structure and the mind provides the meaning. The vibration mode was invented to help people with hearing impairments know when they were being called. It was a feature of accessibility that became a feature of etiquette. Now, it is a standard way to receive a notification without disturbing the silence of a room. It is a buzz against the skin, a private signal in a public space. It allows us to stay connected while remaining respectful of the quiet around us, a discreet tap on the shoulder from the digital world. The journey of a smartphone from factory to pocket is a global odyssey. The screen might be made in South Korea, the processor in Taiwan, the battery in China, and the camera sensor in Japan. The final assembly might happen in Vietnam or India. It is a testament to human cooperation and a complex supply chain that spans the globe. The device in your hand is a citizen of the world, a mosaic of international effort and expertise. It is a quiet symbol of how connected our industries and our lives have become. We have traveled through the data centers and under the oceans. We have seen how the phone recognizes our face and secures our money. We have looked at the tiny sensors that orient us in space, and the ancient dust that powers the connection. But the story is not yet finished. There is still the question of the future, of the challenges we face, and the quiet mysteries that remain. Let us rest here for a moment, allowing these images to settle, before we turn the page to the next chapter of our journey. We have seen the wires beneath the sea and the towers that watch over us. Now, let us draw our attention back to the device resting in your hand, or perhaps sitting on the table beside you. It has become more than a tool, it is a companion that learns and adapts. It creates a bridge between our solitude and the world. As we continue, let your mind drift into the soft hum of possibility. The story of the smartphone is also a story of comfort, of the small conveniences that smooth the rough edges of our days, and of the invisible boundaries we are learning to draw. The concept of wireless charging brings a new rhythm to our lives. It removes the friction of the cable, the hunt for the right plug. It relies on a principle called magnetic induction. Inside the charging pad and the phone are coils of wire. When electricity flows through the pad's coil, it creates a magnetic field. This field then induces an electric current in the phone's coil, refilling the battery without a physical tether. It is a transfer of energy through the air, a silent filling of the well. You simply place the phone down, and it begins to drink. It is a moment of rest for the device, a time to lie flat and recharge, mirroring the rest we seek for ourselves at the end of a long day. The disappearance of the headphone jack was a quiet controversy. For decades, the small circular port was a universal standard, a gateway to private sound. When it was removed from many smartphones to make room for larger batteries and thinner bodies, it forced a shift toward wireless headphones. These tiny earbuds connect via Bluetooth, offering a new freedom from tangled wires. They create a private cocoon of sound, a way to retreat into music or silence, no matter where we are. The jack is gone, but in its place, we gained a wireless liberty, a way to listen that feels almost like magic, with no strings attached. The "Do Not Disturb" mode is a modern invention for an ancient need. It is a digital, closed sign, a way to tell the world that we are unavailable. When this mode is on, the phone holds back the noise. It gathers the notifications in a quiet queue, refusing to let them interrupt the present moment. It is a tool for reclaiming our peace, for protecting a conversation, a meal, or a night of sleep. It gives us permission to disconnect without guilt, a small but powerful act of self-care in a hyper-connected world. Many phones now offer a bedtime mode, or sleep mode. This feature dims the screen and turns it to black and white, or grayscale. By removing the vibrant colors, the screen becomes less stimulating. It loses its ability to entice and hold our attention with bright icons and vivid photos. It becomes a tool for utility rather than engagement. This simple shift can help signal to the brain that the day is ending, that it is time to wind down. It is a gentle nudge from the technology itself, reminding us to close our eyes and let the world fade to gray. The slide to unlock gesture was once the front door to the digital world. It was introduced to prevent accidental dialing in pockets or bags. It required a deliberate, physical action, a finger sliding across the glass. It was a satisfying, tactile interaction, like sliding a bolt on a door. While newer phones now use face recognition or fingerprint sensors, the memory of that slide remains. It was a ritual of entry, a conscious decision to step into the stream of information. It marked the boundary between the physical world and the digital one. The swipe keyboard changed the way we write. Instead of tapping each letter individually, you can slide your finger from one letter to the next without lifting it. The keyboard uses prediction algorithms to guess the word you are tracing. It feels fluid and continuous, like writing with a pen on paper. It allows for faster, smoother communication, turning the act of typing into a graceful dance across the glass. It is a small evolution in our interaction with these devices, making the exchange of thoughts feel more like a flow and less like a series of stops. The Phantom vibration syndrome is a curious reminder of how intertwined we have become with our phones. Many people report feeling a vibration in their leg or hearing a phantom ring, only to find no notification. Our brains have become so attuned to the signals of the device that they sometimes invent them. It is a hallucination born of habit and expectation. It shows how deeply the phone has woven itself into our nervous system. We are listening for it even when it is silent, waiting for the next tap, the next piece of news. The calculator app on your phone is more powerful than the mainframes that guided the Apollo missions to the moon. The computers that sat in mission control and guided the lunar landers filled entire rooms. They weighed tons and had a fraction of the processing power that sits in your pocket today. This fact is often repeated, but it never loses its wonder. It speaks to the incredible pace of miniaturization and progress. The power to calculate trajectories, to model physics, to guide a craft through space is now available to anyone with a smartphone, used mostly to split a dinner bill or calculate a tip. The flashlight feature is perhaps the most used tool on the phone. Before smartphones, finding a light in the dark meant fumbling for a switch or a candle. Now, with a swipe and a tap, a bright beam shines from the camera flash. It is a modern luxury that we often overlook. It helps us find keys in the dark, navigate a power outage, or read a menu in a dim restaurant. It is a small, reliable sun that we can summon instantly, a comfort in the shadows. The timer and alarm functions have changed the rhythm of our mornings and our cooking. We no longer need a separate clock on the nightstand or a mechanical timer in the kitchen. The phone becomes the keeper of our schedule. It wakes us with gentle sounds or our favorite songs. It alerts us when the cake is done or the tea is steeped. It helps us manage the minutes of our lives with precision. It is a silent timekeeper, counting down the seconds while we sleep or work, ensuring we stay in rhythm with the world. The shift from physical media to streaming was accelerated by the smartphone. In the past, we carried CDs or cassettes. We owned a fixed library of songs. Today, through services like Spotify or Apple Music, we have access to nearly every song ever recorded. The phone is a portal to a vast, celestial jukebox. We can explore new genres, rediscover old favorites, and create soundtracks for every mood. It has democratized music, making the universal language of humanity available in an instant, a constant stream of melody that accompanies us through the day. The wallet is becoming a thing of the past. With services like Apple Pay and Google Wallet, the phone can hold our credit cards, boarding passes, and movie tickets. Near-field communication, NFC, allows the phone to communicate with a payment terminal with a simple tap. It is secure and fast. The transaction is authorized with a fingerprint or a face scan, a moment of biometric confirmation. It lightens our load, freeing our pockets from the bulk of leather and paper. It is a step toward a world where our identity and our assets are digital, carried with us in the sleek rectangle of glass. The Find My feature has brought peace of mind to many. Losing a phone was once a crisis. Now, the phone can broadcast its location to the cloud. You can log into another device and see its position on a map. You can play a sound to find it if it is hidden in a couch cushion. You can lock it remotely or erase its data if it is truly lost. It is a safety net for our digital lives. It also allows us to share our location with family and friends, a way to coordinate arrivals or ensure a loved one is safe. It is a digital tether, a reassuring link in the chain of care. The QR code found new life in recent years. These square, black and white patterns were originally designed for tracking parts in car factories. They are a type of barcode that can hold much more information. With the cameras on our phones, we can scan them instantly. They became a bridge between the physical and the digital, a quick way to open a website, view a menu, or check in for a flight. They turned the physical world into a touchpoint for digital information, a silent hyperlink on a poster or a table. The smartphone has become a primary source of news. The morning paper has been replaced by the morning scroll. We check our news apps or social media feeds to see what happened while we slept. This constant flow of information keeps us informed, but it can also be overwhelming. It requires a new kind of literacy, the ability to sift through the stream and find the truth. It is a fire hose of events, stories, and images, always on, always updating, a river of history flowing through our hands. The translation apps on our phones break down the barriers of language. Using the camera, we can point our phone at a sign in a foreign land and see the words instantly translated on the screen, superimposed over the original text. We can speak into the microphone and have our words spoken back in a different language. It is a Babel fish in the pocket, a tool that fosters understanding and connection in a diverse world. It makes the unfamiliar readable, turning the strange into the familiar with the help of a camera and a computer. The rise of mobile gaming has created a new form of relaxation. Games like Candy Crush, Wordle, or Two Dots are designed to be simple, rhythmic, and meditative. They offer a mental break, a way to zone out and focus on a small puzzle. They are the digital equivalent of knitting or whittling, a repetitive task that calms the mind. They are played in lines, in waiting rooms, and on lunch breaks, providing a small, personal retreat into a world of color and logic. The emergency SOS feature is a silent guardian. Most phones allow you to press a specific sequence of buttons, like the power button 5 times, to trigger an emergency call. It can also send your location and a message to designated emergency contacts. It works even if the phone is locked. It is a feature we hope to never use, but its presence is a comfort. It is a lifeline in the pocket, a way to call for help with a simple, deliberate action, a digital scream for assistance when words might fail. The Safari, or Chrome, browser on your phone is a window to the sum of human knowledge. The concept of an encyclopedia is now obsolete. We carry the Library of Congress in our genes. Any fact, any date, any definition is available in seconds. It has changed the way we argue, the way we learn, and the way we settle trivia disputes. The world's knowledge is no longer housed in dusty halls but travels with us, accessible at the tap of a finger. It is a democratization of information, a vast, silent resource for the curious mind. We have seen how the phone serves us, protects us, and entertains us. We have looked at its tools, its games, and its quiet safeguards. But the story is not yet complete. There is the matter of the path ahead, the new frontiers this device is beginning to explore. There are the folding screens and the unseen assistants. There is the question of where we go from here, and how this device will continue to shape our future. Let us take one last pause, allowing the weight of the phone to settle, preparing for the final leg of our journey into the night. We have traveled a long, quiet road together. From the first heavy bricks that needed a suitcase to carry them, to the sleek, glowing panes of glass that rest in our palms today. We have traced the invisible lines that connect us, diving under oceans and climbing up to satellites. We have explored the sensors that see our faces and the chips that count our steps. Now, as we reach the final part of our journey, let us turn our gaze forward, to the horizon where the digital and the physical blend into one, and finally, to the restful silence that awaits us. The future of the smartphone is folding. It is a return to a past form, but with a futuristic heart. Engineers have developed screens that can bend without breaking. These foldable phones use flexible OLED displays and intricate hinge mechanisms that allow the device to open like a book or fold in on itself like a compact mirror. When closed, it is small and discreet. When opened, it reveals a tablet-sized canvas. It is a marriage of mechanics and chemistry, a device that can change its shape to suit the moment. It reminds us that technology is not static. It flows, it adapts, and it learns to fit more comfortably into the curves of our lives. The voice inside your phone is growing wiser. We speak to our devices now, asking for the weather, for a song, or for a reminder. Artificial intelligence is learning to understand not just our words, but the intent behind them. These digital assistants process our requests, sifting through vast databases of information to find the perfect answer. They are becoming more conversational, more like a helpful companion and less like a machine. In the quiet of the night, you can whisper a question, and the phone will answer in a soft, synthesized tone. It is a conversation with the cloud, a dialogue between human curiosity and machine intelligence. Augmented reality is beginning to blend the digital with the physical. It is a technology that superimposes computer-generated images onto our view of the real world. Through the camera on your phone, you can see digital furniture placed in your living room, or stars and constellations mapped onto the night sky. It turns the phone into a lens that reveals a layer of information invisible to the naked eye. It is a bridge between the atoms of the world and the bits of the digital realm, creating a new kind of landscape where data and reality coexist in harmony. The smartphone has given a voice to the voiceless. Social media platforms, accessed through these devices, have allowed movements to grow and stories to be told that might otherwise have remained silent. It has democratized the power of communication. A single video, a single post, can reach millions. It has shown us that our shared humanity is far greater than our differences. While this power comes with challenges, the underlying truth remains. The ability to connect, to empathize, and to share our experiences is a profound good. It is a web of stories, weaving us together across borders and oceans. The digital well-being tools on our phones are a sign of maturity. The device that demands our attention is now offering to help us manage it. These features can track how much time we spend on different apps, how many times we unlock the screen, and how many notifications we receive. They allow us to set limits, to remind us to take a break. It is an acknowledgement that technology should serve us, not the other way around. It is a gentle nudge toward balance, a built-in wisdom that encourages us to look up from the screen and engage with the world directly, to feel the sun on our face or the wind in our hair. We are learning that the most powerful feature of the smartphone is the off switch. There is a profound peace in placing the device face down on a table. The screen goes dark, the connection quiets. It is a deliberate act of presence. It says that for this moment, the digital world can wait. The emails, the news, the endless scroll will all be there later. Right now, there is the room, the breath, the silence. The phone becomes a pebble of silence, resting, waiting, but not demanding. It is a tool that we are learning to master, finding the rhythm between connection and solitude. The smartphone has changed the way we experience the world, but it has not replaced the world. It has given us maps, but it cannot replace the feeling of grass under our feet. It has given us high-definition photos of the stars, but it cannot replace the awe of looking up at the night sky. It has given us the voices of our loved ones across the miles, but it cannot replace the warmth of a hand on a shoulder. It is a bridge, a window, a tool. It enhances our lives, but it is not life itself. And in the quiet of the night, when the screen is dark, the real world rushes back in, filling the space with the soft sounds of the house settling and the rhythm of our own heartbeat. As we come to the end of our exploration, we can appreciate the smartphone for what it is, a marvel of human ingenuity. It is a culmination of centuries of science, from the first experiments with electricity to the latest advances in materials science. It is a testament to our desire to connect, to understand, and to create. It is a small, glowing shard of the future that we carry with us every day. But for now, its purpose is served. It has guided us through the facts, and now it can rest. The journey does not end here. It continues in your dreams, in the quiet moments of tomorrow, and in the endless stream of discovery that life offers. But for this moment, the only journey that matters is the one into sleep. So, let the screen fade to black. Let the room grow dark around you. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mattress, heavy and relaxed. Let your thoughts drift away from the facts and figures, from the networks and the chips. Let them settle on the simple sensation of breath. Breathe in slowly, and breathe out. Release the tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your hands. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to see. Just the quiet, the dark, and the gentle pull of rest. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring the quiet wonders of the world. If you found comfort in these words, you might choose to like or subscribe, joining our community of sleepy souls. But for now, there is nothing left to do but close your eyes and let go. The facts will be here tomorrow. Tonight, let yourself drift. From the Sleepy Facts, I wish you a deep, peaceful rest. Good night.